Hi, my name is Silantro, and this is going to be my Xiaoyu Dance guide. Days ago, I posted a community post, and the dance guide won. So the combo guide will be released next week. Okay? Now, this guide will be divided into two main parts, and I will call those parts the movement and the flow. With the movement, this is how you move outside the fight, and with the flow, this is how you move during a fight, and how your moves connect. So there's a big difference with it, and I will show it to you later on. So let's start with the movement. Let's go to our game. Now, movement, like I said earlier, is what you do outside the fight. Now, I need you to realize that one step, this is already considered as a dance. One B3 plus 4 is considered a dance. So, what are the reasons on why you should learn to dance? So, first reason would be retreat and attack. Now, why did I say retreat and attack? The reason is you are not doing your dances to turtle. You're doing it to retreat, think, and then attack. You can't do this forever. Okay? You can't do that. But you can retreat and then attack again. I hope I'm making sense. Now, the second one is to not put pressure on you. Why do I say that? When I do this, your opponent is not attacking, your opponent is not going near you as much, but you are safe. You will only do this when you are in a good distance with your enemy. You should not do this in this distance because when you are doing this, you are vulnerable, like forever. So that's why we will go back to number one. When you retreat, you attack again, or you go near the enemy again. That means that while you are doing this stuff, you need to have one attack or one move that you are ready to release. So for example, let's say you want to cancel your RDS UF1. RDS UF1 down puts you in the while standing state. But if you hold down, you will be in the full crouch state. So if we are going to cancel RDS UF1, you will be very near with the enemy. I'm telling you, you are vulnerable. So what you need to do is to let out an attack. You choose your attack, whatever you need. But it doesn't mean that I mentioned freedom, that you will do this. No, you don't do that. You are in the while standing state. So the best one would be while standing 2. Why do I say that while standing 2 is the best move when while standing 2 is a 13 frame startup move, WS4 is 11, and WS14 is 12. That's because this one can be a launcher. The reason why you also dance is when you do one step, you will have a reaction to the enemy. The usual reaction for this is they duck, right? And then they will realize that you canceled it, so they will go for a hit. What will happen is you will have the counter hit. So let's try what I mean. So what I will do is I will go for two steps. First step is I will sidestep this. And then I will go to RDS UF1 to cancel, right? And then I would go for the while standing 2. So I recorded the Xiaoyu with the hop kick. Xiaoyu's hop kick is 16 frames. So the Xiaoyu player got floated. So dancing will actually make your opponent do nothing. Then once you are near again, that's when they will start mashing. Now this is a variation of the retreat and attack, and it's to retreat and wait. You will let the enemy attack you when you decided to cancel. or when you decided to go near them again. So, what do I mean? Let's use the same example. The enemy will let out a move. If you can see, we are at plus 13. And Xiaoyu's 13 frame Punisher is before 1. So let's try that. See? It became a punish. So if you decided to not attack, you need to wait for the enemy to move, and then you can punish them if the move can be punished. Get what I mean? Now, another variation of the retreat and attack would be retreat, attack, and then dance again. Now, this will only happen when the attack that you let out gets blocked. So I set the enemy Xiaoyu player to do B41 when I do an attack. So this is what will happen if you don't dance after getting blocked. If you stay there, you will get punished. You will get hit by anything. But if you remember that, oh, I am a Xiaoyu player, that means that I can counter what happens next. Okay? So what do I mean? You dance again. But this time, you need to learn how to dance in this distance. We will do the same thing, but my while standing 2 will get blocked. So what we will do after we get blocked is we will use the tools that are given to us as a Xiaoyu player. What are those tools? We have the RDS parry, we have the RDS sidestep, we have the Phoenix, and we have the Cali roll. Now, those are not the only options that we have, but I want you to see how you can dance when you get blocked. I'll do the same thing. While sending 2 gets blocked, the enemy Xiaoyu will try to punish me with B41. See? Now, that is still considered dancing. Dancing is not just about mashing transitions or anything like that. It's not that. It's how you dance with your enemy. So let's try another option. Right? You sidestepped because it's still a dance step. And then you saw the whiff, and then you went for the mistrust. So let's try another option. See? You countered that with 3 options already. Let's try one more. So I tried to Phoenix that and I got hit. But out of the 4 options that I have, 3 of them were successful. That means you didn't let this happen. You didn't stand there. You danced and you fought with your enemy. It's okay if you dance and you get hit. It's okay if you get punished with a move that can be punished. But for me, it's never okay that you don't try anything. Again, like I am always selling to other players in Discord or wherever, you are a Xiaoyu player. A Xiaoyu player dances. A Xiaoyu player fights. A Xiaoyu player counters her enemies. Now, another thing that you need to learn to maximize your movement is to know your transitions and your cancels. Now, in another video, I actually put a section wherein I showed you all of her transitions. So for example, 1D2 can go to RDS, or it can go to the hypnotist stance. So that video will also show you on how you can formulate your own playstyle if you want to be a fundamental, Sodom style, or the mixed playstyle. But in this one, it will be more in-depth. Now, a tip for you when you're doing your dances is you should know what move you are going to input after a dance step. So for example, I go for D1 plus 2. I know that I will be in AOP. Now, I will input F3 plus 4. Now, F3 plus 4 will put me in the while standing state. I know that. What can I do with a while standing state? If I want to dance, then I would go for the FCDB3 plus 4. Right? Now, If you know what your next move will be, then you could go for AOP, that is D1 plus 2, F3 plus 4, and then I would go for the FCDB 3 plus 4, and then maybe I want to go for a mistrust, right? That's why you should know what to do while your animation is ongoing. Now, how I want to approach this is by making it a little bit simple, but it still has meat in it, right? So let's start with each stance, okay? Now, in order to dance, you need to know how to transition to each stance. I hope I made sense. So if, for example, right now I am in the AOP stance, maybe I want to go to the RDS stance. So I need to know, as a Xiaoyu player, to know the ways on how I can go there, right? This involves moves and the transitions. Okay? The easiest way to go to AOP is just B3 plus 4. So other than B3 plus 4, you can go for moves that will put you to RDS. So two of them would be AOP 1-2 and AOP 1-4. Now you can also use cancels. So if I do AOP U4 and I hold back, then I will cancel my while standing state into RDS. Or another cancel would be AOP 2-1 back. Now this one is more complicated, but this involves AOP, and then I will tap U. When I tap U, I will go to the while standing state. So just to demo for you. See, I was in the while standing state. Now, if I want to go to RDS without doing this, then I could go for AUP, U, and then FC DB 3 plus 4. Right? So there are many ways to actually do it. So if you don't want to do this, then you could go for the AUP U4 and then go for FCDB 3 plus 4. So let's say that I need to go to AOP again after RDS. You can pick any transition that you want, then know the moves that will transition you to AOP. So for example, I would go for the cancel. I'm in RDS right now. I want to go to AOP. What are the moves that will transition me to AOP? We have RDS 221 down. Next, we have RDS UF1. Next would be the simple AOP, which is down 1 plus 2. But if you can see, this one is a little bit more slower. The thing that I will show you is 2 inputs, but it's more helpful than this. This one is very near, while this one has some slight distance with the other Xiaoyu. Now, you can go for a back to create some whiffs, and then you can punish them with AOP 2-1. With the AOP 2-1, let's transition to AOP again. Right? So, what happened there? I canceled AOP 2-1, I go for DB, and then I instantly go AOP with D1 plus 2. If I want to kind of retreat more, and I don't want to do that, then go for RDS B3 plus 4 after. And then do your DBD 1 plus 2. Right? Now, in order to attack again, you can wait for a whiff, or you can enter with AOP F3 plus 4 to attack again. So let's go with that step by step. Go with AOP 2-1 cancel, B3 plus 4, and then you go DB D1 plus 2 instantly. Then you go AOP F3 plus 4, and AOP F3 plus 4, or the roll, will put you in the while standing state. So just input your 2. Now, we need to go to the hip stance. So for example, I am the rain dance stance. I want to go with maybe the hip stance. Then I would go for RDS to 1 back. Right? Now let's say I would go for AOP, then RDS to hip. Okay? Now take note, I am not going to use this in a fight, but I want you to understand how your transitions and your cancels work. So, with the same move, AOP to 1, we will go for the hip. AOP to 1 will put you in RDS. And then, once you go to RDS, you will go RDS to 1B. You go in the hip stance. Right? Now for example, I would like to go for the RDS again after I do this. In order for us to go to the RDS stance, there are two ways that you can do that. Now, first one is the Hypnotis 3 plus 4B, which is a cancel and it will transition you to RDS again. Now, the other one is kind of awkward. You will tap your sidestep, but you won't sidestep. I will show it to you what the wrong move is. That's not what you want. What you want is a tap. Once you tap that, you go B3 plus 4, and then you will go to RDS again. See? That's very awkward because tapping you will actually cancel your hypnotist stance and you can go to neutral. So for example, I would like to go to UB3 after the hypnotist. Then I would go for tap U and then tap UB3. You can see the step there. It actually cancels it. And that's even better, right? Now, let's go to our original example, which is this one. Now, what will happen is we will cancel it AOP to 1. We will go to RDS. Now, after this, we will go with RDS to 1B. We will be in the hip stance. After the hip stance, we will try to go to RDS again, and we will use this. Now let's try that. Right? Now this is the end of your dance, which means that you wait, you parry, or you let out a move. In this case, I would like you to go with the throw. See how graceful that was? AOP to 1 can go in two ways. You could go for this. You could go for this. Now, if your opponent doesn't know your cancels or anything like that, they won't hit you when the animation of the cancel is ongoing. They will hit you either with this or when they realize it's a cancel. Okay? So that's how you dance with your enemy. You are making your enemy think. Now, I don't know how this sip will sound like, but the more that you are in a stance, the more that you will get punished for it. If you're just like this, not doing anything, or like this, waiting, no. Or if you go, you are vulnerable the more time you spend while in a stance. So as much as possible, for example, I transition with DB2, you need to know what moves you're gonna let out after it. Doesn't matter if it's a sidestep, doesn't matter if it's like RDS C3, doesn't matter if it's like a throw, and it doesn't matter if you want to go for the heat smash. Okay? Now, using your transitions and cancels to mind condition by doing the same thing. What do I mean by that? So for example, I would go for this. If I go to the RDS again with hip 3 plus 4B, I would go for the RDS, right? Then I would do it again. But this time, I will delay my 4 and then you can have a possible launcher. So it's the same thing when you heat engage. So if for example, you heat engage with B4 1 and then you would go for heat F2 1 2. Now, you saw that the enemy dodged your F2 1 2, right? So after that, you won't be doing that anymore because you know that the enemy can counter it. Now, that's when you adapt in the fight, and then that's where you use your dances to counter your enemy's counters. I know that sounds really stupid, but let's try it. Now, the enemy Xiaoyu will use B4 1, and then she will do F2 1 back Hypnotist 3. Right? So basically, you use your dance to counter their counter. Like I said, again, that's why you need to learn your dances, you need to learn your cancels, you need to learn your transitions. Because your transitions and your cancels will actually give you the ability to turn a bad situation into a good situation. Now, another example for this is you saw that your move got blocked. Let's say I would go for while running 3. And then the enemy, not knowing that I am at plus, will try to do UB3. But since I know how to dance and I know that there is a possibility that I will get hop kicked, I could go for the AOP side roll down. Now, once that's cancelled, it could go for the while standing state, or you can hold down to go for the full crouch state. But let's see what will happen. See? Now, we dodged that with the AOP side roll. Now, as I am holding down, you can see that I am in the full crouch RDS. Now, since you are comfortable with your RDS, then you know that you can mistrust and it will reach your enemy. So I saw a video back then with the cooking show. I don't know if it's Gordon Ramsay's show, but it's a simple trick that changed how the way I cook, or I can relate it to Xiaoyu now. You need to know where your knife is. That may sound stupid, but if you think about it, once you slice those fruit or vegetables, you will now be aware that I'm holding the knife and then the knife is in here. So if for example, if I will relate it to Xiaoyu, if I use AOP 21B, I know that I will be in RDS. That means if I want to dance, I know how to go to other stances instantly. Or I know that I am limited to my RDS moves. That's a move. That's a dance. The more you practice with your cancels, the more you practice with your transitions, the more that you will be confident into transitioning into other stances. Okay? There you go. So once you mastered your stances and your movement outside the fight, now it's time for you to learn your flow. This is a made up term of mine. The flow is a combination of how your dances and your moves connect, offense and defense wise. Now, what we will do is we will be watching some of my matches and then I will explain how my flow works. Okay, so let's watch some of my matches. So this was versus a Dragunov. Fight. I'll let the battle flow first. Okay, now we will dissect
Round
that.
two.
Let's go
Fight.
back to round one.
Round one. Fight.
Now you might be wondering why I did the D1. It acts like a force field, so your enemy's jabs or anything like that has a high possibility of getting hit. Now, I know that it whiffed. Now, I went for the AOP so that I could side roll, but the enemy Dragonov saw the whiff and then went for the heat engage. Okay? Now, I went straight for the B1. Some pokes. And then now, I did a Raccoon Swing. Now, the Raccoon Swing will automatically put you in the RDS stance. Now, I saw that the enemy blocked it. Now, I will instantly go to DB to be safe with the distance. Now, I danced. Basically, like I'm always telling you, one step is already considered a dance. Now, I am planning my attack. That is my form of retreat. I need to attack. I need to go near the enemy again. Now, I went for my while running 3. You can see my plus, I'm at plus 12. I went for my AOP 1-2. I didn't stay in AOP for too long. I want to make use of my plus 12. So I went for AOP 1-2, and AOP 1-2 will put me to RDS. Now, I saw that it got blocked, right? So, like I told you earlier, the third variation, retreat, attack, and if your attack gets blocked, you need to dance again. The way I danced here was I used my Sabaki, which is RDS F1 plus 2, and it parried the enemy. I didn't stay with the RDS stance for too long. I did something. I did Sabaki. Right? I countered my disadvantage. It looked like some form of retreat. Right? So, sorry. I need to go near the enemy again with the enemy's disadvantage of being knocked down. I used that advantage to go near him again. I used my retreat and wait here. I cancelled my throw. I was in the while standing state. Now what I did was I sidestep. Now that is a good example of retreat and wait. You wait for the whiff. I went for my UB3 after. And I just finished the round. Let's go to round 2.
Round two. Fight.
Okay. Now let's dissect that round again. Now you saw that it got whiffed. Why did I go for my 1 down 2? That's because I want to mix it up. I could have went for the launch. I know that. Here's a tip for you. If you don't know what the punish is for that move, or you are too late to punish, go for the 1 down 2. It will put you in the neutral state, the RDS state, or the hip state. In this one, I went for the RDS state. Now, I went for RDS down 3. I did not stay in the stance. Okay? Now I know that my RDS C3 will put me back in the neutral state. What will I do? Now I sidestep twice and then I tried to do F4, which will give me a hit confirm. But it did not hit, and that's okay. Now, I went for my dance. AOP, and then I butterflied down, and then I went for U4. I got hit with a dick jab, and that's fine. Now I sidestepped and then went for my 1 down 2 mix up, but this time I went for my hip. because as you can see, the Dragonov is in a weird state. So he won't have any time to react with my hip 3. Okay, as you can see again. Now, hip 3 will not put you in the while standing state, and you are plus 6. That's why I need to input a move that will put me near again to him, and I chose FF3. I know I will be in the RDS state. Just to be safe, because it's not a counter hit, I would go for DB again. I know I'm plus 6, but I went for the DB anyway. I retreat. I am planning my attack. What will I do with my attack? Okay. Okay. Now, I went in forward just a little bit. I sidestep. That's my dance. And I am in the perfect distance to go for the F4, because if my F4 whiffed in this distance, I will still be safe. But if the enemy goes near me, then he will get hit. Which happened, so I can hit confirm it with B41. Okay, now I went for my FF12 back. Not FF12, FF12 back. Why? If I go with FF12, I will be in RDS, which means I won't have access with my F212. That's why I cancelled my RDS stance to neutral. I have a +4 advantage. That means my F212 will start at the 12th frame. Now, I did not cancel my RDS this time. Why? Because I want my RDS heat smash. And I chose to stay for the hip option. I chose to stay with the hip option. This is the 50-50. I went for hip 2. And I ended the round. Let's go with the third round.
Fight.
Okay.
Round
Okay, so let's
3.
dissect this.
Fight.
Okay, so first I went for my D1 again. I went for my AOP, and then I went for a side roll to dance. You saw that the Dragonov hesitated to attack. Now I went back to go for my B1. Now I know that that string has a low option, that's why I crouched. Now I transitioned to AOP, and then I did a butterfly. Now, with the animation of the butterfly, I did not wait. I went for my AOP one, but this time I went for my hip transition. And it got blocked, and I got punished a little bit, but that's fine. Now I tried to parry for some reason. I went back, and then I saw that it whiffed. Now I went for my 1 down 2 again. But this time I went for the RDS, and then I snake edged him with RDS C4. Because that's my plan, right? I know, okay, I will input 1 down 2. I know that I will be in RDS. I want to go for the snake edge. And that would be RDS C4. Okay, now you saw that I wall carried my F212 and I went for the hip option, and that is to recharge my heat. Okay, now I cancel my hip and went for my FF1 too. Again, I did not go for my RDS option. I went for the neutral state. Now, I went for my F2-1, but this time I canceled it with the hip and then I sweeped him with my hip 3. Because I know earlier that he blocked it. So it makes sense that I switch it up. I know that he will block the third hit. So I will go for my hip option. And I would go for my low option, which was the hip 3. Now, this one, I know he is sound. So my heat smash won't work, right? So I tried to go for my B3 plus 4. Now, I noticed that he is not yet going up or waking up. So that's why I went for an additional side step. He still did not go up, and that's fine. It completely whiffed, and I got punished. That's fine. Now, you can see here that I am crouching. I used my advantage with that to go for my AOP. I transitioned because the enemy put me in the crouching state. Right? Didn't expect it. Okay, so now, knockdown. I went in a little bit, but I don't want to get spring kick. I went back. Retreat. Plan your attack. What's your dance? I went for my RDS. B3 plus 4. Now, RDS DB. After the DB, I went for D1 plus 2. I went for my roll. And instead of doing that, I wait again. Instead of doing my while standing 2, you can see that I am too far with Dragunov. So, my while standing 2 will whiff. That's why I went for a sidestep instead, to kind of close the gap even more. I went for a sidewalk, sorry. Now, after the retreat, I tried to attack, but it's only a jab. Now, why would I love the keep out jab? It will give you +1. Don't ever underestimate a +1. Now, after the jab, I just simply went for my UF1 to finish the round. Okay? Now, let's watch another match. So, this is the second match, so let's see.
Round 1. Fight.
Pretty intense fight right there. So let's dissect that.
Round 1. Fight.
I don't know why I didn't go for my B41, but that's a miss-hit confirmed from mine. But I still went for the FF4. I don't know why. Maybe because I thought it will whiff, or maybe because I thought it will be blocked. Okay. Now, I transitioned to AOP there. I know I can make a combo out of it, but for guaranteed damage, I just go for my 3 plus 4. Now, I transitioned to AOP, and I went forward with AOP F3 plus 4. Just to go near the enemy again. And I sidewalk, and we met. Really sweet. Okay, I tried to dance a little bit, and then I planned my attack. I went for a keep out jab. I tried that again. Now here, I am at plus 9, and I know that I will be in the hip stance. That's why I will go for a move instantly, since I am at plus. Okay. I went for that because one down to 1+2 can catch enemies if they don't know what they're doing. So I got punished, and that's fine. I went for my B1, sidestep, keep out jab, DB1. He whiffed. Now, you saw my WS14 got blocked. I am at -10. A jab is a 10 frame move. That's why I would go for either a sabaki or a parry. In this case, I went for the parry. I danced. I went to RDS automatically. Now, let's see what I will do. I will continue my pressure since the parry will give me a +6 advantage. Now, I know that I will be in RDS. I will go for my RDS 1+2 4. Why? Because when it gets blocked, I will be at +3, which means that it will continue the pressure. Right? +3. Now, with that +3, I went for my fastest move, which is my RDS 2 to 1. Now, as you can see, I transitioned to AOP. And then, I know that it got blocked. I need to do something. I can't roll here. I can't do a move. I am at so minus. So what I did was I danced. I used my AUP side roll. And I just went for a D4. Let's go with the second round.
Round 2. Fight.
See how that D1 acted like a force field? Okay, let's continue the match first. Sorry. Okay, I lost there and that's fine. So let's dissect that. So like I was saying earlier, see how it acted like a force field? So I transitioned to AUP, then I went forward a little bit. But I did not stay with the stance, I went for my AUP 1, and I want to do my hip, and then I instantly went with hip 3. With hip 4, sorry. Now a sidestep, now retreat, go near again, and then back away. I used my retreat and wait. Okay, it got blocked. Okay, now here I went for my RDS and then I am at +8. Now I went for my RDS 3 to kind of poke him a little bit. I don't want to launch him. And then I went for DB. Right, and I went for a backflip or a back handspring. I retreat. Let's see what I will do. Retreat. Go near again. Wait. I got hit, but that's okay. I got a counter hit. Okay, that was unlucky on my part. I went for my SS, my sidestep, and then I went for AOP, but I still got hit, unfortunately, and that's fine. Okay, that's a very bad whiff. Okay. Bow jab. I did not know why it didn't become a clean hit, but whatever. Yeah, this was very confusing. That's fine.
Round three.
Let's go with round 3. Okay, pretty good round. I love that round. Let's go dissect that.
Three.
Okay,
Fight.
see how I became safe with just a simple dance, a DB. An RDS CB will keep you safe. He whiffed twice. I didn't punish it or whiff punish it, I'm sorry. But I went for my DB2, which will bring me to RDS. I sidestep, and I went for my RDS D3. Raccoon Swing, if it's not a counter hit, go for the DB. Okay, I retreat and then I attacked again. But this time, my while running 3 missed. But since I know it whiffed, I know my tools, I went for my AOP Butterfly. I know it's a high, but it's still a good thing to witness, right? And then I know it whiffed, I go for RS4. Now here, I kind of want to play it up. I didn't go for my heat engage. I didn't go for my heat burst because I want him near the wall first. So, I discontinued the combo. And then, I went for my F2-1. Hip. Cancel. Go near the enemy. I canceled my hip 3+4. I went down with RDS down 2+4. And I went for my full crouch state. And then I go for my full crouch 3, 2, 1 hip. But I got thick jab, and that's fine. That was very bad. Okay, now, if you saw that, my AUP2 whiffed, right? I know it whiffed. And I know that my 1 will also whiff. That's why I cancel. Now, in order to kind of realign, I went for my RDS option, and then I went for my RDS 221. I know you heard this a million times already. I did not stay in a stance. Like, I went for a move instantly, and that was RDS 221. I did not go for my AUP option this time because I'm kind of safe, right? I'm at +4 right now, and I'm in the while standing state. Let's see what I will do. I used that to use my FF1 3, and I'm at just -1. Now, it's kind of a frame trap, so I went for my UB4. Okay. Now, I know this combo will not kill, right? So I went for my hip option, and then I waited for a 3-step hip 3, but I think it got blocked. I can't remember. Oh, I went for my 3-step hip 2 because I saw the Jin blocking my hip 3 like forever. So I went for my mid option, and he still blocked it. Now, this one, you can see my heat is still like, I don't know, 60% or 70. But I went for my heat dash because I want to mix it up again while being in an advantage. If your opponent blocks this and you don't heat dash, you will still have a good plus frame advantage. But I want him to be cornered on the wall. Now, I went for my mix-up, which is F2-1. Now, I went for my hip 3 again. And there you go. Let's see the last round.
Round four. Fight.
That was really forced, but let's dissect that.
Round four. Fight.
Okay. Now, I went for my 3+4, and then I transitioned to AUP. And then I went for my butterfly. And then the dick jab whiffed because of that. That's still a dance. Now, I saw it whiff. I instantly went for AUP to 1. Okay. Okay, retreat. Go near again. Kind of sidestep. And I went for the heat smash. Okay, now I know that I will go with the hip stance. I want to kind of mix it up, right? So that when I go to hip, he will get confused later on. I go for my hip 3+4 cancel, and then I tried to go for my RDS4, and that's fine if it got blocked. And I got punished. I blocked that, instantly went for the punish. I am at RDS stance right now. What will I do? I went for my throw. Sadly, I forgot I misinput the cancel. Okay, I go to RDS again. And then this time, I know that it got blocked. I go for the side step and then an additional dodge with the Cali roll. Now this part was so forced, I tried to kill the enemy. Okay, so I tried to reach him with my UF1, but it got blocked. That's fine. But it has a really good tracking, so I still won with the UF1. Now, that's how my flow works, right? And that's what I taught you with the movement, and this is how you use them in a fight. Now that's it for my Xiaoyu Dance guide. I hope it helped you. I hope I made sense. And I hope after this video, you will learn how to dance with Xiaoyu. You will learn how to utilize her stances. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!